Right then, well, Andy, I guess this is the first episode of the hybrid kind of podcast, lad. So obviously a different little style for us, the way we normally do things. We're going to try and have a bit more of a chat this way than facing that way. We'll try and get used to that kind of vibe, but now it's something that's been made apparent, like people don't know too much necessarily about us two. Kind of the journeys we've been on to get to where we are, kind of fitness-wise now, where we're up to with the gyms, etc. So this is the most awkward episode we'll ever do.
When you have to talk about yourself.
We have to go into ourselves. So guess who's first, pal? You're diving in first.
Me. Welcome to the first episode. So where are we starting?
You go back a bit from where we met, I think. Where did you start?
So I started at Baldwin Arena, where you was working. Me and Dan had a very good...
we had a great start.
A great start, didn't we? I came into the gym. I worked for a company called Profit, a great company, weren't they, to start off with, personal training. And I came into Baldwin Arena where you was. You was a gym instructor there.
Well, I was at uni still, and thought Andy was a prick.
So I came in, all guns blazing, didn't I really? Fresh as they come, young, early 20s, wanting to make my mark on the fitness world.
And do you know what it is? That initial feeling of like, fucking, they're way too far ahead of where I was at the time, because they're all, not say educated in the sense of uni, etc., but they're very educated in the realm of fitness, the amount of CPD they'd all done at that time. I mean, how old were you then at that time?
24.
To have how many Baldwin courses, how many things you've been exposed to training-wise, and I was like 3 years below thinking I'm nowhere near that kind of level. And it's probably, at that time, an insecurity thinking, I'm nowhere near that. So they are naturally pricks.
We've all felt that.
Like, it's a natural thing.
We've all felt like that. Yeah, I went into the arena up to my eyeballs in courses, ready to make an impact on the fitness world.
Taking over pop.
Taking over the world with, one dumbbell at a time.
When you step up, that VMO is going to be massive, pop.
That's exactly what it was. So yeah, I came into there, working for the Profit at the time. Managed to gain a lot of clients early doors and made a really good impression on the gym. Again, it was always my vibe because, coming off them kind of courses, you don't feel elitist, but because you're armed with a lot of knowledge and you've got a lot of, stuff under your belt that you can apply to your clients.
It's like you want to get it all out on the table. Because it's further learning, isn't it?
You want to
put
make
it
your
in practical application every time.
Yeah, you want to make your mark. And at that time, we had the sole contract for the personal training in your gym, if you remember at that time. So yeah, it started off there for me. I was with Profit for 4 years. I think it was 4 or 5 years. You come and joined us, didn't you?
Yeah, that way it was Zach, then it was me straight after that.
Yeah.
But it's like Andy said, Andy was Ramo, then Zach got Ramo, then I got even quicker again because you copy the people who are ahead of you.
Yeah.
And as a free, we were very dominant within that kind of space, PT-wise.
Yeah, and at the company, I managed to land like a mentorship role as well, if you remember. So I was maxed out with PT.
Yeah.
Earning very good money at that time, obviously, because I was doing so many sessions, them usual 10 session a days, you remember them?
Yeah.
So doing 10 clients back to back, still applying everything. And when you get home, you're still doing 3-4 hours of admin for them clients. Just obsessed, like literally.
That's why we look 48.
Yeah, that's why we look old. But no, literally obsessed with the game. We still are, but it's a little bit different now, obviously. But, them early years, just obsessed with becoming the best coach we could be, getting the results. And just learning, so literally 24 hours around the clock working, getting
clients. For me, it was trying to catch up with the people ahead of you. Like, because there's so much more knowledge, we were getting a sense of training especially, it's like so much more exposure. For me, it was like, right, I need to catch up to these as quick as I can. I need to get as full as quick as I can.
Yeah.
Probably taking a lot more clients that you definitely didn't need at the time. But at the same time, what we always say to PTs, RPTs, etc., is you want to train at the start as many different people as you can. Because how much can you learn off so many different people? Then you can start to really hone into who you want to be and who you want to train.
Yeah.
But it's massive to be around people who are so much, like, the reason we're so driven as a collective is because we're all wanting after the same thing. You kind of stick with your kind of pack with that, don't you?
That's it. And we had a great time there at Baldwin Arena. And like I said, I took more of like a mentorship management role within the company at Profit. So my time was split between the gym and then helping other PTs out and other coaches out with their businesses. And, from an educational standpoint, with their training, their nutrition, their diary management, their business management, that's what happened with me. And then, I was 25 when we opened Strength Factory. So I kind of hit the ceiling at Profit. They was absolutely great with us. But I
checked out ready, though, weren't you?
I checked out. The ultimate goal for me was to always own my own facility. And back then, it was more just about getting a gym for myself and training my clients there. at the early days, it wasn't really about, scaling a huge global business and making it an absolute monster at that time. It started off by just being, I want to be on my own with my own people, doing my kind of vibe.
How much does Strength Factory in particular, how much has that scaled compared to what it was when we started?
Yeah, for sure. So how
many pieces of kit was it? That's the one, lad. That photo is class. We'll try and get the photo up.
We had
the photo.
When I came here, when I got the unit here at the Strength Factory, first of all, I pulled all my resources together, every bit of cash that I had saved up. I pulled all the strings that I could, did my best at negotiating with the landlord and trying to figure out in them early days what it was really like to have your own premises. Because, there's things that you don't know when you're a PT that you have to learn very quickly when you decide to get your own gym. There's obviously certain things you have to meet with building regulations, the council. There's other things you have to, consider when it comes to owning your own business. So I had to learn those things very quickly. And, quite naively, I just jumped into it without really knowing and just thought, I'm going to figure it out along the way.
Luckily, landlady's pretty sick.
Luckily the landlady's brilliant.
Quite nicely.
And, from training so many different clients over the years, I got some really good advice and help off my clients that are experienced in business, with properties, with other things as well. So that's what's, great about being a trainer. We get to meet so many different people and they helped out along the way. So 25 years old, got onto the Strength Factory and, we ran with our vibe because at the time we was training powerlifting and bodybuilding very, very heavily into powerlifting and bodybuilding. So we kind of ran with that vibe, didn't we? Early doors, like Danny said, we had 9 pieces of kit. That's all we had. I'd used every single penny.
Listen,
it was crazy.
People moan about gyms not being equipped and stuff we still made 9 pieces of kit work with plenty of people and also plenty of clients at the same time.
That's it.
All still getting in 6 shape.
And you know what? Looking back, I opened the gym really poorly because I didn't even have a pre-sale strategy. At the time it was right, I've got myself, I've got Zach and I've got Danny and Gav. Gav left his job before I even opened the door.
Didn't he?
So Gav, the absolute legend, when I got the unit next door, we was building it out, and he was there morning till night with me, Gav, getting the building ready because these units weren't what they were what you see now, right? There were industrial units that needed changing. We had to build the changing rooms. We had to, the floor.
We'll get onto the hybrid one in a bit. So
same
units, but both different, mad.
So Gav jumped ship. Gav left his. Well, he was at Profit as well. He left his position there before I even opened the gym. And he was in there till flipping 1, 2 in the morning with me, grafting away, trying to get it right, But, like I say, looking back, I didn't even do a pre-sale. It was just literally, I've got 3 guys here with their clients. I've got me and my clients. I'm just going to get it ready and open the doors and hope for the best. That was what it was like all them years. 10 years ago. 10 years ago now. So we opened the doors, and I remember the first guy that walked in, and Andy, he came in, and he's still a member now. He walked through the door and was like, "Oh, I didn't know this gym was here." I was like,
wow,
maybe I should have let people know that I was here to start off with.
Open the door first, eh?
I was just like, what's that meme where the guy sat there in the pool empty?
Escobar
in the pool. So it was literally like that. But I knew that I'd worked out the numbers. It wasn't a complete blind. It wasn't a gamble. It worked out well that I thought, right, I've got myself and my clients that earn me this much.
PT's going to come.
PT's going to come. They're going to bring a certain amount of money. We've got a certain amount of membership. So it wasn't a complete blind just guess. We did some basic calculations, of course, but, looking back now, I could have done a lot more at that time. But it's all lessons learned, isn't it? And so now, Strength Factory is what it is today. We've got multiple pieces of kit, obviously, from that 9 that we started off with. There's a great vibe. The team is unbelievable next door.
You can't get massive next door.
We
could do it on our PTs instead, they'll sort it out, but still.
The Strength Factory it's like our baby, isn't it? That's where we started off, and, it's great now. The membership space has been solid for a lot of years. We've got our coaches there now that do online coaching with transformations. That side, Strength Factory side, is all body transformation based, isn't it? If we was to take a look at the 12, 16-week preparations, that kind of vibe, that's where we go with that.
Even all that, thinking back, we used to call it the results factory. Before you obviously see the hybrid stuff and this kind of style training, we used to call it the results factory because we were doing our own photo shoots. We were using Sai, for example, when we did our own, but we brought our transformation guys in. I got the camera off my missus. We started taking photos in the gym. Right. We got someone else's dad to come in, did homemade photo shoots and started doing it. And that was the way, because we just wanted to document. This was before we could even use Insta. We weren't really them kind of lads.
Yeah.
But it was like, let's start doing that vibe. And then obviously off the back of that, how many people you get there.
Yeah.
But that was the vibe we created. Everyone wanted to be in sick shape.
Yeah.
Still do.
Yeah. And, you know, learning the things that we did from the last company, we wanted to build an education structure. And it was more, you know, after the first 12 months of us being in the Strength Factory, we wanted to create a company that was a big company, you know, started acting like a big company, introducing mentorship for our coaches, introducing education so that we could bring coaches in to the Strength Factory and educate them with everything that we knew. Because we knew that, you know, any gym can just open the doors and ask coaches to pay rent and that's it. But we wanted to set the tone early doors, create a family, create a team where it's like, there's a career path for you to be here. You know,
and it's understanding, thinking back to obviously, because we've both been through mentorship at Profit, probably me in a more updated version than you, because you were mentored by the time. And there was massive holes in there. As much as it was sick, some of it wasn't relevant to where we wanted to be. Like I didn't drive to some of them thinking, buzzing, can't wait to do this. Because I've cracked that already.
Yeah.
So what's next? So the next kind of steps is how do you take training further?
Yeah.
How do you actually get people in incredible shape that's beyond the norm?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of vibe what we want to go for. It's like, there's more than just the normal kind of thing. You see, you can get people in incredible shape. Yeah. This is how. And I'm kind of implementing them tools with ours.
And that's how it started, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and then, of course, supporting our coaches, you know, with an education system and a career path, which we did our best to do, didn't we, early doors in that with the education that we knew. And then, you know, for us to scale, we knew that we had to get better as businessmen. We knew we had to get better as coaches and understand how to help people out a little bit more. And I guess that's where...
And that's the point we're probably still learning. And
we
always
still
will be.
Oh yeah, we'll
always will be.
Always will be learning that. But you know, we scaled the Strength Factory massive. I think at one point we had 10 PTs out of the gym, and everybody was doing well, and it just worked so well. And then we got to the point, didn't we, where hybrid. You know, 5-6 years in, the goal was to always open up. As our goals were changing, we'll probably touch on this, you know, a bit later on.
What was the catalyst? So we go through. No, keep going. We'll go through.
You know, as our training was kind of developing, and you know, we were seeing a kind of like a shift in the industry almost.
Probably in our energies as well, and how we were feeling around training as well.
Yeah,
it was definitely that.
A kind of a shift with, you know, functional fitness becoming more apparent and more accessible, really, to the general population. You know, because back when we started the Strength Factory, it was literally you do bodybuilding or you do step classes.
There's your choices.
Bodybuilding or step classes, which one do you want to do? And it's like, in the background, functional fitness, as we knew it back then, was more for sports teams, right?
I think our first dip was probably the shred thing we did. We did like 2 different courses, didn't we? Right at the start, we did like a shred, and it was kind of like circuits. We want to call it circuit, but it was more us kind of moving away from just doing bodybuilding style stuff, having a big group of people, getting used to big groups of people, with all the ultimate goal of being in shape and performing, just not to the level now, obviously. That's kind of transformed massively. But it was understanding that there's probably more out there than just the standard role split vibes. Well,
if we had CrossFit to that, so you had the true CrossFitters.
Can't say that.
You had the true CrossFitters, you had the bodybuilders, and then you had like aerobics and step classes. Like, you know, that's how it was back then. And we definitely seen a gap in the market, and the way our training was developing, that we knew we could open up another gym based around.
We aren't CrossFit, by the way.
Yeah, we knew we could open up a gym that was based around functional fitness, that was accessible to everybody, and that's where it came about with where. You know, we always say that everybody can get it, isn't it? That's kind of the thing that we always say, because everybody can get it. And we knew that we could open up a facility to facilitate group training, small group personal training with a vibe of our hybrid vibe. And the way we come up with our hybrid vibe, wasn't it? It was, you know, using a mixture of all different training modalities to achieve.
By that, we like strength training, we like bodybuilding training. We like going doing mad endurance feats. We like doing stuff on the track. We like doing different kind of length stuff on endurance base. Yeah. That's what we mean by that. Like, there's so many different types of training we like, and we dipped our toe in so many facets of fitness. Like, you've done a lot of heavy powerlifting stuff. We've done more ultra endurance. You've done a lot of ultra endurance now as well. We've done a lot of everything, and we'd like it all.
And we wanted to bring that to the people.
We want to make sure people don't get pigeonholed into thinking, no, this is the way you have to train and nothing else. Like, you can do more things. You can also be strong and very fit at the same time. And
lean if you wanted to, or yeah, you can.
And perform that way, like, you can do it all.
Perform well, yeah. So 6 years in, we was looking at the unit here, and at the time there was a company in this unit, wasn't there? like a big plastics unit, and it was like heavy machinery, dirty place like that. And
asbestos line.
Yeah, at the time, Dave was looking to move out, and at that time it was like, right, maybe this is the best opportunity to jump in on this. You know, once they'd left, it was about 6 months and it was still empty. And I remember saying to you boys, like, next door's still empty, you know, people are getting...
We said it for a while, didn't we?
Yeah, it was for a while. It's like, you know, next door's empty, you know, because to give context, the size of this building is huge. Like, the hybrid performance...
It's about 3 gyms in one.
Yeah, the hybrid centre here is absolutely huge. So, of course, that comes with cost. Of course, that comes with any changes that we need to make to the building are obviously a lot more expensive because of all the room, right? When you buy matting for a small gym versus matting for a big gym, the difference is next level difference in terms of financial. So
sizing the floor of this place and figuring out the mats, that was probably the biggest shock we had whenever we costed this.
Yeah, so I think that's why we was put off at first, because it was just so big, and it was just like, oh, should we do it now? Should we not? Should we do it now? Should we not? And this is when we came together, wasn't it? Me, you, and Zach, and we thought, right, let's get our heads together. Let's do this between us, you know, and let's all jump into this, you know, together collectively.
The biggest catalyst for this actually happening was probably lockdown. Because we've been so, for years, like we said, we've done PT for years. We all came into this gym, did PT, and we bashed out. You do 10 PT sessions a day, all the time. Yeah, your social life starts diminishing, like, then you really wrap it, and then you come away from it again. Repeat year after year. It gets to the point where it's like, what's next then? Because we can't keep doing this till we're 50
doing the same thing,
and looking like you're 80. Like, it's not going to work. So I think lockdown for us, like, as much as it's probably bad for some people, I know it's ages ago now anyway, but for us it was a big thing to go, you know what, actually, we don't need to be doing floor PT all the time. We all went into online coaching and we were already doing it anyway, so it was quite an easy transition. If anything, we kind of went, buzzing.
Yeah.
I've got a bit more time actually at home. It's never spent as much time in my house ever.
Yeah.
Plus it was a nice summer. But that was the moment when we were coming, obviously still meeting up together and still doing a little bit of training, just us three, like meeting up business-wise. You can say that now, it's too long ago.
Yeah, you're not getting in trouble.
It's all right now, it's fine, it's gone. So that was for us kind of like a thing of like, you know what, actually, we probably should do that, because we were already playing with it.
Yeah,
like, we were doing morning sessions next door, and we're kind of like, is this us? And I think this is us. It's like, let's take the fucking plunge.
Yeah,
that was the thing with it, weren't it?
That's it.
Sarah?
Lockdown. Yeah, we spoke to the landlady again, and we negotiated much better this time than last time at the Strength Factory. Negotiated some, you know, a great lease and great terms and stuff like that, and then we got to work then.
Reason being, this building is not what you see. Like, you did not see this building when we stepped foot. We were using this building as a little car park at one point.
Yeah,
and it was not like this. Yeah, these walls were all painted white, and there was like 70 years worth of paint on them, and we spent 2-3 days. We were chipping away at the chisels on the paint, trying to strip it off, and then we went, so just sandblast it for $1,000. Yeah, sounds probably the best version.
Yeah, the building was a wreck, because like it was full of heavy machinery. The floor was
blitzed.
There was actually a mezzanine in this back corner that we got removed, didn't we?
So guys on that middle squat rack who've ever dipped in, you know why?
Yeah, you know why? Because there's like there was an oil corrosion. It was the building was a mess, to be fair. So we came together, didn't we? We invested heavily into it. We still do invest heavily into it now. You know,
continue to.
Our vibe with this is, you know, to keep investing within the gym, keep bringing the members the best facility possible. You know, and I think we're doing a brilliant job of that right now. So how long have we had this now?
2 years.
2 years now, isn't it? So yeah, 2 years on, we're at the hybrid centre as well as the Strength Factory. They are next door to each other for anybody that's listening and don't know. And now we're obviously in a position where we've got multiple coaches, and you know, each coach has got their own little vibe, haven't they?
Great team.
A good team. And each coach has got their own little vibe. You know, we've got guys doing track sessions, guys doing high rock sessions, Olympic lifting.
There's a lot going on, Andrew.
There's a lot going on, and we love it. Like, we love every single part of it. And, you know, one of the main things for us as a company and as a brand is for the people that, you know, join us from a coaching perspective, is that they feel like they've got their impact on growing the brand. You know, we
want input, and that's probably the biggest kind of growth we've had, where we've probably in the past at times, maybe further back again, been very dynamic, like, this is what we're doing, forgetting the wider picture. And that's what the biggest thing we've tried to do is, everyone's got that input. That's what we want. We need as many ideas as we can, because ours aren't the best.
Yeah, always.
And that's probably the hardest thing with anything, is like, you think yours is the best idea, and it's just not. That's it. Other people have great input. For
sure. We know that building a team and having a really tight core team, we know that we're all going to grow further together. And like to us, the people are everything, and this is why we invest a lot of time into our coaches and a lot of time into our members with social events for the members and etc. You know, because we know that our people are the most important thing to us, and our coaches, you know, for us to grow together and for us to, you know, I guess, build the empire, as people say. We know that a group of people that we
can't do it on our own, basically.
We don't do it on our own, and this is why we give our coaches, you know, great opportunities to grow their own business within here and give, you know, open up the brand a little bit and give the members opportunities to try different things within the brand. So
it's even like different facets of the businesses with the online stuff. Other people, it's not just us three involved, and there's extras. Like Johnny's come in with that as extra.
Of course.
That's the point. But it's the reason being is the energy's been put in, the time and work's been put in to obviously take things to that platform.
For sure.
When people put energy in and kind of workload in, things come back from that. That's the biggest thing we kind of say, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. And you know, again, we've had some, you know, we've had some mentors as well. We've seeked out help, haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, there's, you know, you don't know everything.
Probably forever going to do that.
We're always going to do that.
You said before though, how many clients when you first opened Strength Factory help you out and like little bits of advice?
Sure.
We still obviously do train some people, and we still train people for certain reasons because we still get advice off these people. These are people that aren't necessarily going to leave PT because we've had them for so long, etc. But the people in positions that we can really benefit from a business point of view, from a lifestyle point of view, because they've been there and done it.
For sure.
And earned the dough. And they know what they're talking about.
You know, our goal and our mission within both of the gyms, you know, different vibes, but it is to show everybody. We say this all the time, and it really does mean the world to us. It's to show everybody that you can do whatever you want to whatever standard you want. You know, that whole thing of anyone can get it. Like, it doesn't matter where you're from, what you do, your fitness levels, you know, what colour skin you've got, what age you are. It just doesn't matter. It does not matter. And, you know, we've really honed in on that because, you know, we don't want to be the people where it's very elitist. You know, we don't want that. Everybody can get it. And we've had such good success with our clients, haven't we?
It's always been the same. People see it from the outside and they'll say there's a photo of 20 people, they'll only focus on the two lads with the tops who are ripped out their head. But then they don't notice that there's also two 50-year-old mums there and like who were just still doing the exact same session as those two lads who were ripped out their head and still are absolutely smoking it. Like, and once people do come into our facility and come into our class system and come in within everyone, they realise it's just not like that. It is anyone is after it, everyone can get it. That's the key.
And our target is, you know, our education can be passed down to our members. All the education that we still continue to do and our coaches do, we can pass that down. It's almost like we want everybody to win. We want everybody to win, but we want them to feel important and feel like they can be an athlete in their own right, and that you don't have to.
There's levels to it.
You don't have to be
you
at the
can be an athlete in your version of you being an athlete. It's fine.
So we treat our guys exactly like that. We treat them and we educate them to make the best changes that they can for their lives. The amount of people that, you know, have come to us, which is why we started this job in the first place, the amount of people that have come to us and said, this place has literally changed my life. Like, for us, that's just like the biggest win that we could ever imagine. You know, it's like...
It's probably not what we expected even at the start,
no.
Is it? Don't know what we expected.
So, you know, our goal is to continue to educate, continue to push people to be the best versions of themselves, as cliche as it sounds, you know, and for us to keep our standards nice and high, for us to keep learning and keep providing, you know, the best that we can for our guys so that they can be athletes in their own right.
That's a nice segue, Andy, because I also need to go through, how do you think we've changed personally, physically, over the last kind of 10 years? Obviously more mass physically. No, but from a person, how do you, looking back to when you first started and when we first started, how have we changed as the businesses have grown, etc., where we're up to, everything? How have things changed for you and what's been the catalyst for that? That's what we've been asked.
Training-wise?
Everything.
Yeah, so...
Business-wise, the lot.
Like
what's changed focuses?
Yeah, like we said early doors, I was heavily into powerlifting.
Yeah.
Like heavily into powerlifting, you know, and I guess that kind of fed down into the Strength Factory, didn't it? You know, we was having powerlifting teams coming in. We was doing training sessions together.
Deadlift Saturdays, like there's certain days.
We had certain days for certain lifts. We'd all meet up at the same time. We would all do them.
Muffin, coffee.
Yeah, you'd have your
Nando's
muffin.
For 3 hours in the afternoon.
Go to Nando's for hours, eat loads of food, then go and try and train even though you're full of food and all that lot. So, you know, me personally on my fitness journey, if you want to call it like that, it was very heavy powerlifting and strength based, of course. Then we did the transformation style where, you know, lose some body fat, start training a little bit more like a bodybuilder, start cleaning things up a little bit. And then I guess like as you get older, I think you realize what's important to you. And for me, very personally, longevity became more important than, being a world champion powerlifter. And luckily enough, I did get to fairly good levels with powerlifting. I managed to do very well with it. But to me, it was always a young man's game, in my opinion, because it's
got a shelf life.
It's got a shelf life.
If you want to have a long, fulfilled.
To me, it had a shelf life because I was pushing the boundaries very, very hard. So it was like, I knew that at some point I would need to change the way I do things so that I can train forever, And before powerlifting, it was always played football, played rugby.
It's play forever. It's infinite.
It's infinite. It was always
game.
Something, yeah.
We're always thinking of something else on what we're doing next.
Yeah.
So that is the point when it comes to training.
And as time went on, the longevity game started to come into it. The performance game started to, give us a little tickle as well, because we've been in performance environments before. Then we did some bodybuilding, got lean, etc. And
next?
with the shift in the functional fitness, space. With us thinking about opening the gym, it made complete sense for us to make that shift and now start to go into, more functional fitness competitions. Because, again, in the fitness industry, there was competitions that was opening up for people that didn't do CrossFit. Because at that time, it was just like you either do a 10K, Manchester 10K, you do bodybuilding, or there's some CrossFit competitions where you had to do CrossFit,
That's
right?
It.
And that was kind of it. Or it was to us in our world, there probably would have been the odd...
We were probably narrow-minded in
the odd competition.
Can't do that,
Yeah, but as the functional fitness changed, there was competitions out there for people that didn't just want to do one thing, which is like the NFG style competitions. There was some inter-gym competitions. And, and now more recently, you've got things like the High Rocks, you've got like Turf Games, you've got you've got a whole bunch of competitions now where most people can give it a good crack. There's obviously levels to it, there's the tougher competitions.
It's like we said, anyone can have a go. It just depends how far you want to place. But as long as you still max out, as what we always say in here is like, as long as you max your ability to what you can do on the given day. Sweet.
Yeah, and you match a competition for that. You find the competition that suits you at that time,
and then work up.
So I guess then we've pushed into more functional fitness stuff. And for me, I've always had a dab hand at running. I've always wanted to do my running anyway. And I've always had a bit of experience with running. Obviously, when I was powerlifting, I couldn't walk up the stairs without getting out of breath.
Paras.
Do you know what I mean?
It's not like you've never been exposed to it.
No,
way
in
back.
the early days, I mean, that was very, very short.
But it's been there though.
But even playing, sport at school, whatever it might be, there's always been some kind of training there.
Well, we did the Hip Chronicles, didn't we?
We did the Hip Chronicles.
The OGs will know what the Hip Chronicles is. There's a few who will see them.
We did
the transformation of powerlifter to shredded.
Yeah.
But then that birthed into, right, let's try a run. Because I remember you saying, let's do an half marathon. And you trained for one because I ended up doing the plan for you. And then you
did the plan for me.
The time for me on my route.
Your plans were good. Your plans were very good. I think obviously like throughout, when you're younger, you do all your team sports.
Yeah.
There's a very short military failed career in there. And then it got into powerlifting and bodybuilding, etc. And then functional fitness, and there was always running there. So I guess my transition in terms of training, because I'm never just bothered about one thing. Like if I fancy changing, I'll change. But I'm not very emotional about anybody else bothering me with my stuff. If I want to run, I'm going to run. If I want to lift heavy weights, I'm going to lift heavy weights. I don't get influenced by anybody else's opinion or by anybody else's social pressure.
It's called stubbornness.
For me to do anything.
Stubborn.
If I want to be big and strong, and I'm the only guy in here doing that, I'm fine with that. I'll just do whatever I want to do, and I've always done that.
Case in point recently, I'm going back out and I'm going DC-10. I'm going to bed. No, you're coming. No, I'm not. No, you're coming. No, I'm not. Was in a bit. Gone.
I just do what I want when I want. So, for me, training has always been a very personal thing for me. Now, we're lucky in here that everybody is very like-minded and we all chop and change. We all like to do phases of strength. We all do phases of endurance and whatever. And then more recently...
Why is that, though? Because you can only focus on something. If obviously, we've got bigger goals and there's a broad range, but you can't go all in on all of those goals at once. It's got to come in cycles.
Yeah, it comes in phases.
To
be good at this hybrid style of training, if that's what you want to call it, we go through phases, and that's a really good thing to do. If we use CrossFit as an example,
intensification phases on certain points of the year, and then obviously it builds towards the actual races and goal. But
you look at the best CrossFit athletes; they have phases of strength, they have phases of endurance, they have phases of more complex lifts, etc. That they all then combine and I guess periodize over time to then get an end result. Like it's not just random workouts all the time.
Well, this is the thing when we've spoke about ultra runs, and obviously we do big distances now. We've built up to very big distances, and we've got some big runs planned this year. Like, it's not just gone from that last summer to then this, and it's just happened out of nowhere. Like, the kind of block of training how long ago was lockdown, for example? How many years? Yeah. We've been running since before that, and then during that we had a real big block of running where we had nothing else to do because the gym was closed next door. We'd give all the kit away. We had massive fat bars that we couldn't use. Big powerlifting bar, no one could lift. 40-kilo bad boy. So it was like, well, we'll probably best go do some ultra runs and do something different, experience something. And that's where our kind of love for that really came in with trail running. Probably did the same route too many times. Yeah, it's fine. Sure. Got shouted at by small women. It's okay for ganging up. But big 50k runs off the back. That was how we did things. And that's how we started to learn new things, new experiences.
And that's what's great about our member base here is that we're opening doors for other guys. And like we keep saying, everybody can get it. And because we lead by example, you know, it opens doors for members to do the same thing. Now there's people in the gym now where they're doing big ultra runs. They're doing things that they never thought that they could do before. And that's what means the world to us, isn't it?
Mate, the early predictor is we've started getting back on the bike again now, the road bike. I can guarantee you
we
now
all want to get on the
peloton of hybrid people going down the A6.
It's brilliant. This is what we want for everybody, isn't it? This is exactly what we want.
There's that many different things that some of our members still haven't been exposed to. Like road cycling, I probably prefer that to trail running, and I love trail running. But do you know what I mean? There's so many different things of fitness that you've never touched before that you don't realise actually exist, that you're probably better than it than you actually think. Yeah, so there's going to be so many different things that we used to see it back in Strength Factory. We used to come in sliders, everyone came in sliders. Birks. Not that many people come in Birks. But we trained a certain way. Rack deadlifts.
Yeah, rack deads, yeah. Well, and this is our responsibility as coaches, isn't it? Yeah. We take this, you know, we take it seriously. Like, obviously, what we do to us is very serious, and this is why we still educate, because we want to provide the best education and the best training facility, the best kind of information to our members, you know. And when we do these kind of things, it helps us advise the best because we've gone through it, we've done it ourselves, and it helps us, you know, as much as we say, oh yeah, we do rack deads and everyone does rack deads. Well, that's the whole point. You know, we provide
There's a reason we were doing rack deads at the time.
Yeah, we provide this information and we do these things ourselves so that we can give it to our guys. That is the whole point of this whole thing. So
I think the biggest thing we always wanted to put onto people was like, obviously anyone can get it, but it's exposing stuff, but it's like experience as many different things as possible. Like there's so many things out there you can actually do. Like just fucking try it. Yeah. Just show up, try, make sure you train. Like my main focus of my week all the time, my month is when am I training? What am I training? When are we going doing whatever? Like that is how I plan my week now. I never used to be like, I used to be right, how many clients could come in? Yeah. But you guarantee, say we do 10 clients a day, I'd have 2 little gaps and I'd definitely be training in one of them. Yeah. And they'd be sweaty ass for my clients. But still, like the main part of my day is training, and it's being infectious enough. Infectious is probably the right word. Yeah. For the member base, for your clients to carry on that same thing because their life will get better for that.
And you know what? Like you could look at it and be like, well,
you're a psycho.
Well, yeah, but you know, for us to do all these multiple things and to share these things with our guys, like we believe that that's our biggest value to our guys. You know, you could look at it from the outside and be like, well, from a business perspective, it might not be best because you're not focusing on one thing and just honing in on that one thing. Well, you know, to us, it's more important that we share these, I guess, experiences and open up the doors for people, you know, and open up the doors for everybody to actually go and have a go with it and you know, try everything. If you want to go swimming, go and try swimming. If you want to try, just go and try it and we'll help you out with it, you know.
You learn from exposure. There's things that we probably used to be scared of. Not scared of is the wrong word, but like, probably a bit too far for us that. But now it's like, right, what's next? Which nice segue again, Andrew. What have we got planned? What have we got coming up from a business point of view? What have we got lined up? And also from a training point of view, because training's going up another level again. Yeah. Like you always say, unlock the next level. Unlocking brain emoji. Level. There's always more.
There's always more. From a training perspective, you know, we're obviously taking on bigger endurance events. We're taking on...
The mileage goes higher.
The mileage is going higher. We're unlocking new levels. And this, again, we'll keep going back to it. It's for our guys and our members to do exactly the same. We want you to unlock new levels. So for us on a physical level, some bigger ultras, 100 plus miles we're going to be going now.
With some big elevation.
A lot higher.
That way. And that way,
yeah, and some of our coaches, they're going to be doing much more tougher functional fitness competitions. Yeah. You know, some of the lads are going to be doing ATHEX as well. That's for those that don't know, a newer competition that's just landed from the boys down at March on. Them boys are absolutely killing it at the minute with these comps. So our guys are going to be doing that. And we just keep moving forwards. Like like we said, we play the infinite game. We just want to unlock the next level, unlock the next level, unlock the next level. So
growth
for us,
mindset every time. What's next? What can we do
growth
more?
mindset.
How can we get further? How can we get better? How can we get higher up the mountain?
Growth mindset. So we're just going to try and beat what we did last time, and that's our personal life experiences of just unlocking a new level. So it means for us, we're going to have to just push the boundaries a little bit more.
There's one in June that might test us a bit more because it's going to be about 30 degrees with a lot of elevation and we're quite milky.
Yeah.
We're going to struggle in that sun. But other than that, we need the rain. That's where we're comfortable, rain.
But again, like...
I'm just not phased.
I'm just not that bothered because our personal goal and mission is to just keep pushing the boundaries of what you think is possible. You know, and that's what it means to us. And this is why we pass it down to our guys. Like, I honestly don't care what area it's in, because I want to learn more about myself. You know yourself, and members and guys that are listening, you know, you guys know yourself that when you do something very hard and then you do something else very hard that was a bit tougher than the last time, that feeling that you get of overcoming fear,
a new high.
Overcoming challenges, overcoming what you thought was possible, pushing your body and your mind really, really far. And that's relative to the person. It could be a 5K. We're serious. It could be
mate, an half marathon was an ultra for you and for me for forever. Like,
it could be a 5K. It could be 100 miles. It could be 200 miles. It doesn't matter. Our goal in life is to keep unlocking the levels, and we know that. I guess going really deep now, Dan. You know, going really deep. It's like it's just like adding more to your soul. You know what I mean? It's like adding more. It's like you're gonna come to the end of your life.
Soul, then.
It's heavy, that, isn't it? Yeah, you know, you're coming to the end of your life, and you're thinking, nah, I really did try my hardest here.
Disclaimer: I've got to about 40, and I'll be having a new knee, so I'm milking it.
Another new knee. You know, but you know, genuinely, like, training's just training. It is fun and games, but. You know, and we just do it for enjoyment. But when you do that thing that's just a little bit harder, that sense of, achievement, that euphoria that you get from just beating the last thing you did,
context,
challenges.
So think Lakeland, because it's something recent for both of us, right? When you come off the last hill, it's literally a mile to the town where everyone's waiting and you can see everyone lining the streets and all that kind of thing. The endorphin rush, when you know you've come off there and it's just going dark, you just kind of just missed the sunset, but you're still there. That kind of vibe is what you chase every time.
That feeling.
Because the job's done. It's fucking bang on.
That feeling. And you know what?
There's a lot of mass moving very fast down the road.
We was legging it down the road. But, that feeling, that sense of accomplishment, not to fantasize about the end is what I always say, right? Because when you get to the end... Process. Because when you get to the end, you feel unbelievable, but not everybody's there cheering for you, popping champagne and... Yeah. You've just completed everything. It's like, you've finished. It's like, wow, I've just worked my ass off for the last 6 months to achieve this. I feel really good. And then all of a sudden, the next day, you wake up obviously very soon. It's like, no one cares. No one's actually asked. So it's like, where are the fans? Where is everybody? Where's my thing that I thought I was getting for?
You can be amazing at something. Like, we've trained people who are honestly like the best in what they do. And outside of the realm, no one cares.
No one's bothered.
But in their realm, that's what's the biggest credit is like, no one's that bothered, but they literally turn up and do mad hours.
We're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, regardless.
This is why the next challenge is for us. Yeah. Again, it's for us because we know at the end of it, the process, it's always the process. And it sounds so cliche, but until you've done something that's, that you've had to work for over the 6 months, or however long, it's like you do the thing, you think there's going to be loads of people that actually care, popping champagne. No one's really that harsh. You get a well done, a pat on the back, and everyone's going back to their normal lives. You wake up so...
buzz over you for 10 minutes.
Frey's
don't
buzzing.
Know what's going on.
Frey and Rosie are buzzing. It's like they don't know what's going on, and then you wake up really sore, but you feel really proud of your achievement. It's like...
You still got to get dressed as a Disney princess day after and crack on.
And what's next?
Yeah.
It's always, okay, well, that felt really good. What's next? Because we want to chase that thing of like, I want to feel good. It's like...
We always ask ourselves the question is like, would we still do it without a social media post? Yes, because we were doing it before we used social media for that purpose.
For sure.
Like, we're obviously going to push that for our agenda, what we're trying to do for this kind of platform, but I'd still train without it, and I still do exactly what we're doing without it. I'm not that bothered.
Yeah.
One reason why we don't use Strava and things like that, because it's
not that bothered. When you love training and you love doing the thing, you're definitely going to keep going with it. You're going to keep unlocking the new levels. So
it's not an Insta story that makes me get up at 3:30 in the morning sometimes to come and train.
Nah. It's
the
that
desire
it's
to come and
personal
do
development,
something.
isn't it? It's personal development.
And also, we spoke about it randomly in the gym today. It's like the brotherhood, so to speak. You don't want to let the other people around you. It's a random one because this has just come up today. But it's that kind of feeling. You don't want to let the other people around you down because they're coming training. Why aren't you turning up? And that is, some people see it as a negative. It's like, fucking hell, it's a bit psycho, that. But it's like, nah, it's like that's what keeps us so motivated all the time because our network of who we train with and who we kind of mingle with especially is so highly driven and highly focused on their goals.
And they're high achievers in their own right.
Infectious.
It's infectious. And, why wouldn't you want to surround yourself with people that want to keep doing better?
And I think thinking back to when we were younger, yeah, we're not actually that old.
Feel it.
Look it. Yeah. It's like we were probably led more to the social side of things where we definitely succumb to, fuck it, go out weekend. But it's like, as we've got old, obviously we've had girls and things like that, and things change. Priorities massively change anyway. Massively. Where our heads are right now is completely different to 10 years ago. It's like you said, you're definitely more than me stubborn with it. Like, I'll do exactly what I want to do. Yeah. I'll sometimes move on. Like, I weren't planning on doing certain races, but now I'm doing them. But it doesn't matter. I was quite easily led, but it's in. But it's like, it's all for a good purpose though, and that's the point. It's like you're just driven to do the next thing, and that's what we're always about.
And that's what we encourage with our guys, with our members. This is why we do the things we do. So physically, that's what we're doing, unlocking new levels. Business-wise, obviously, Boast. We've got the Boast stuff on. So we're So a sports nutrition brand that will be launching very, very soon. Protein bars, energy drinks, whey protein.
The energy drinks is useful because we spend a fortune on energy drinks. Me especially. It'd be nice.
Hydration, vitamins, these are things that we've been doing our entire lives, and I've used every supplement under the sun, I've drank all the energy drinks, ate all the protein bars, and it just makes sense for us to come, together.
From our angle, they actually work and do what they say they're going to do.
That's it. To produce some products that we know, because we've had that many of them, that we know genuinely do what they say they're going to do in a nice, clean fashion. We're making
informed sport tested.
Informed sport tested, of course. To make sure that everybody is safe to use them. Big nutrition brand launching soon for the guys here as well.
Then phase 2 on the Beast.
Phase 2 on the Beast.
Phase 2 and maybe phase 3 on the Beast. But phase 2 initially.
Phase 2 and phase 3 on the gym front. So of course, with the model that we work with here, we know that it works very well, and the success of our business here, obviously we want to replicate that as businessmen, of course, but more importantly, to get people into this way of training and into this way of living. The impact that we've had here, and I hate talking about this because it's just like you're, I don't know. It's like you're blowing smoke up your own arse in a way. It's like, but the impact that we know we've had here through members telling us.
It's not like we fabricated, just decided to believe it. Like, people do actually say it to us. It's not just
people are saying how much this vibe has changed their lives. And we know that because we've seen it over the years with coaching, of course, and clients. But the impact that we've had here, we just want to make that impact on as many different people as we can. Yeah. So, of course, gym number 2, gym number 3 that are in the pipeline now is to get more people to give more people access to this hybrid lifestyle and for us to just have a bigger impact on the world because, again, it's so cliche, but it matters so much to us that people can see the light and that people can actually change the way they live.
Our energies can only go so far. Like we can only do so. We can't do 10 gyms because there's not 10 of us. But we want to bring people on, and we've got people on board now. Obviously, we're looking to come into the 2nd and 3rd with us, who are going to match our energies and kind of bring the same kind of work ethic, same kind of drive, same community feel, and same kind of goal-driven thing towards a better lifestyle to drive these other gyms forward and kind of spread the word. Sounds very weird.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
Spread the word, Dan.
But spread our kind of vibe around as many different places as we possibly can.
Yeah.
We need to come out of our postcode. We have that many people travelling from other postcodes.
For sure.
30 minutes down the motorway to come and train at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and then go home. And it's weird. We find that strange, but it's for a reason.
Yeah, for sure. It's mad. There's a lot of people that say, "Can you open a hybrid gym near us? Can you open a hybrid gym near us?" And of course, like the demand for the hybrid style of training and living is obviously getting more and more apparent. And of course, there's all gyms popping up. Of course, and there is some great, other great gyms out there that do a similar kind of thing. So, Yeah, from a business perspective, gym number 2 and 3 are in the pipeline, of course, and we're always going to be bringing on new coaches that fit our vibe. Of course, it's important to us that we get the right people on board and that we can go to another area of the country and produce the same results that we produce here, produce the same vibe in exactly the same way as we're doing it. Everybody can get it. Everybody can.
Infectious with self-development that's always goal-driven. Hard goals, always.
That's it.
Andrew, that was the first episode, pal. So
I really enjoyed that.
The way we're going to actually move these, so this one, obviously the awkward initial one that we've just done, where we have to talk about ourselves and kind of go what the deeper things are, is like, it's going to change slightly. So as we go into this next episode, we are going to change the flow a little bit. We'll have topics we talk about. So we always want people to send topics in, send questions in of what you want. We will don't go into anything. We're not bothered within reason. No, but we will go into anything fitness related, lifestyle related, training related, whatever it is. Yeah. There will be a Baldwin's question or Baldwin's fact of the week just to try and throw him off. Yeah. And give him something.
Danny's fact of the week.
Danny's fact of the week or something. Anything that we've seen on Insta, anything we've seen on social, within the realms of fitness, etc., we'll go into. So, what do we need to do, Andrew?
Well, I guess this is our chance to explain things a little bit in a bit more detail, of course, which is why we're doing these longer videos. So, if you're interested in this kind of thing, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. This is the kind of thing that we've been asked to do for a while now. So,
finally taking the plunge.
Taking the plunge and talking in a little bit more detail rather than Danny drinking knockouts out of my trainer, and doing this kind of style just so that you guys can get to know us a little bit better. And
we've got some cool guests lined up as well.
Yeah, some really good guys to get onto the podcast. So make sure that you follow these episodes, and if you find them valuable, share them, of course, and we can spread the message of the hybrid lifestyle and spread the love, as they say. So
spread the word.
Spread the word, as Danny said today in this episode. So, let's do that.
Thank you.